Good morning. It's Monday. And, you know, there's always something to do for the fish. But this week, I don't know. There's not a lot. And so that means I kind of have to go out of my way to find new stuff to do. And I think I have a few ideas. Along with the regular maintenance, I think it's probably time to rescape the guppy shrimp tank again because we're getting a little chaotic. I'd like to take all the rocks out and scrub them. Um, and the main wood mountain down there I'd like to scrub pretty well too. So I need to do a little project on my pond here. Right now, this is supposed to be my downspout filter. All the water from my roof goes into my pond. But right now, the water just kind of flows off to the side. And that's a lot of water flowing off to the side close to the house. And it's also kind of running underneath the deck. I don't want it to wash out any of the piers or anything. And so what I'd like to do is make two bulkheads in the side of the pond so that when the pond water gets to this level, it automatically drains out, and I'm going to put a garden hose leading it to a better area to drain to. So that way when it rains, it fills up, overflows right here, goes somewhere else. But then also for maintenance, I want to put another exit right here so that when I want to, in the summertime, it's really good to use this pond water to water everything in the garden. And so in the summertime, I want to be able to close this valve, open this one, and I believe it should make enough pressure to take the garden hose and go water stuff in the yard with this pond water. So this is the plan. So I'm going to go to Home Depot and make sure I have all the shutoffs and all the pieces to make this, and then we'll see what we can do here. So the reason I like making a little drawing before I go to the store and buy all the little plumbing parts for something like that is because I can leave the little drawing at home, but just taking a picture of it, because trying to remember mentally what were all the little pieces I need to make this how I want it. You know, you don't want to be sitting in the aisle thinking about it, picking out pieces, and then you get home and you're like, I forgot some tiny little piece. So I think everyone should draw it out first if you're doing some kind of plumbing thing for your goldfish tanks. That way you go to the store, you know exactly what pieces you're looking for, and you can put it all together, like we're about to do now. Unsuccessful at Lowe's. I got like one piece that's gonna work. I spent only like 15-20 minutes in the Lowe's plumbing aisle. And they had a lot of the right pieces, but not quite right. The main problem is the lower bulkhead is already there on the pond, and it's a little bigger. It's like, I think it's 2-inch thread, and then also have that reduced to the garden hose thread. I couldn't quite get all the right pieces to make that transition. So I'm gonna try Home Depot, but we'll see. All right, I went to a different Lowe's and loaded up on what I think are the right parts. So I think tomorrow I'll try to put this together. I've never had a Lowe's Home Depot plumbing trip that I got first try though. I usually always, when I line the pieces up, I think I have everything I need, but I've said that literally every time. So we're gonna find out. Okay, we're gonna make an attempt here. It's Tuesday. We're gonna make an attempt at my little plumbing project for this pond. So when it rains right now, all the water pours over this edge right here. And it just goes under the deck, really close to the house. I'd like to do my little new setup so that the garden hose takes it out into the yard, so that when this fills up too much, it goes out that way instead of right here. Okay, first we're gonna have to drain this to do it. So I need to take the fish out. that are in this pond and put them in the other half. I usually just go for the scoop, especially in the wintertime. They're a little more lethargic. It's not like they can run away too well. A little more gentle than the net. But they're staying toward the bottom, so I will have to use the net. Little scoop-de whoop. Little whoop-de scoop. We're gonna stop the flow. Okay. Yeah, there was no chance I wasn't gonna have to take a second trip to Home Depot. No chance. First, I didn't buy any PVC glue. Now, hold on, I'm not as dumb as you think. I thought I had PVC glue because I work in construction. I'm not a plumber, don't get me wrong, I'm not a plumber, but I have all sorts of random tools and solvents and whatever, and I really thought I had PVC glue. I don't, so I gotta go to the store, buy PVC glue, and this is the threaded outlet that's already on the pond at the bottom, and it does not fit what I bought to go on it, even though it looks to be the same size. It is the same size, it's a different thread size. The thread on this is much bigger than this, a thinner thread. So the pond is drained, so now I took it off to bring it to make sure whatever I get actually fits it 100%. And then with the glue that I will purchase, everything should be fine. So I got the glue, but not the right pieces. And they don't have the right adapters to get from the thread I have to the thread I need. And so there is a specialty plumbing store nearby, but I don't think I'm doing that. This is just the drain for a pond. It's not like I'm worried about the seal being super strong and tight, or even about it leaking, really. I think I'm gonna just sand down the threads, and make it smooth to just glue it. They're just relaxing. I'm working over here. Just to update you on the progress, I shaved down the pieces. That piece of wood is just holding it while the cement dries. And I'm really just totally sealing up because I was destroying the thread used to normally take on and off this exit hole. So I'm gluing the heck out of it. I haven't completely ruined the drain hole, basically, but it will be like that from now on. Although the end piece is threaded, so one of these pieces threads on, and that means we can still take it all off if we ever sold this, and it would be usable just like this. But I'm letting that glue set up for a while before I try messing with it much. We'll give it a go. It's not going as smoothly as I'd hoped, but I think we'll be okay. After all, it is a pond. If any of this leaks, it's really no big deal. I'm not a plumber. I'm sure plumbers are going to say, wow, you did that really terribly. And sure, maybe I did, but it works for what I'm doing. So we're going to give it a go, and hopefully every time I do something like this, it just gets better and better. All right. I did it. But at what cost? Not much monetarily, but a lot of anguish.
Then again, this has gone, I'd say, average as far as projects I do. Man, I always run into stuff. Okay, so shaving down that thread to fit the new piece didn't work as well as I anticipated. I forgot I had to leave a part of the thread that kept it a bulkhead, securing from both sides for the next piece to fit on. So I ruined the bulkhead. Wasn't thinking. Um, and then I thought, whatever. I'll just put it back together and glue it, and then have a new screw piece on the end. But the whatever material the tub and the previous bulkhead are, does not glue to the PVC, so that didn't work. So I got all the PVC glued how I want it, and I just siliconed the heck out of both sides of the bottom bulkhead. It should hold water. I don't know about how long term, but when it does break, which I think it'll hold up for at least a while. So it is currently functioning. Should hold water from both bulkheads. Um, but when it breaks, it's no big deal. I'll just screw off that end piece and find a bulkhead that's actually correct for that, and then tighten it back down, buy a new bulkhead. But for now, this should work once I fill it up. I'm not going to fill it up tonight. I'm going to let the silicone dry um, overnight, and I'm going to let it dry all tomorrow too, because it's not going to cure super well in the cold. So I'm going to let it heat up in the afternoon sun tomorrow before I mess with it. But then once it's filled, I'll keep the bottom one closed. See? Closed most of the time. Top one, come on. I didn't glue it shut, did I? Son of a gun. Ah, there we go. Top one open, so that when it rains, the rainwater, stops at this line here, pours into this, goes to the garden hose, and I'll run that out to a lower part of the yard. The yard slopes down, so it won't have any trouble traveling down this, going out there to the grass. And then when I want to do maintenance or anything, I can open this bottom one and empty the whole thing. Yeah, so I'm done for today. I feel just great about this project. Okay, we can finally look at my handiwork here in the daylight. I need to give that silicone a poke. It does not look like it cured. It's been really cold today. We're at like 3:30 p.m., but I don't even think it's warmed up enough to cure that silicone. So let's touch it here. It looks like we're firm on the silicone here. So I think we should be good to fill this puppy back up. I'll probably rinse it out a little bit, make sure this all flows. Um, yeah. Now I'll just probably hook up my garden hose, fill it up, add a little water conditioner, and I'll probably let it acclimate to the temperature of just the air before I turn it on to cycle through the rest of it. Okay, we're very close to being full here, and we have no leakage. Really the only place I'm worried about is the bulkhead itself, because it's really just siliconed there. So a successful project, I'd say, except for that bulkhead situation. This is rather delicate. All it would take is one kick from somebody walking by, and that bulkhead would bust loose. So I really should have a backup plan. I mean, I suppose if that happens, I can, you know, I'll figure it out. But for now, we're almost to our overflow level. I actually opted for no water conditioner. I think I'm going to let this water just age. The chlorine dissipates after 12 hours or something like that. So tomorrow, I'll turn back on the pump to circulate the water through both tanks. Good afternoon. It is Thursday. Um, it's been raining today, so lots of fresh water in the large pond section, and it hasn't been leaking. My silicone bulkhead is held strong, and the overflow is working. The rainwater has been pouring out through the garden hose, so I'm pretty happy with that. But it's time to turn it back on because the pond fish here in the acrylic portion haven't gotten uh, their regular clean water like normal. So we're going to turn the pump back on, make sure everything works still. Man, is it cold. 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Hopefully, the heater's going to kick on now. Hopefully, this turning back on, running, will bring that back up to at least, I'm going to guess 53, 54, because that's what it's been lately. So let's see what a big difference this heater actually makes. I didn't realize this was going to be a good opportunity to see how much it actually heats the water in the wintertime. So check back in probably tomorrow morning, and we'll see how warm it is. As far as the rest of today, I would like to do a water change for sesame, blackfish, and a little siphoning in the other two tanks. That Quan V moving media filter, I don't know if I said it already this week or not. It's working slowly, badly again. And so I think I need to check the airline tubing. It might have a valve to slow down the pressure on it. Maybe that's why it's not been working as it should. So, good afternoon. It's the afternoon on Friday. Been a pretty chill day so far. Had some stuff to do. Just now getting to the fish. It's past like 3 o'clock p.m. I'm gonna do a water change in all three of these tanks here, and let's check in on how the pond is doing. So everybody's doing really good. We haven't lost any water, so the bulkhead held, which is amazing news. All our fish are doing great, chilling in the chilly water, and we're up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can see what a good difference this inline heater makes, just taking the edge off of the water so the goldfish don't get too cold. I wish this acrylic tank was less scratched. It's a little, that hint of fogginess on the front totally goes away when you look at it from this side. You see the water's totally crystal clear. And it's just because this acrylic tank is so old. I got it for free. It was already scratched up when I got it, so. Okay, I've got multiple water changes in progress all at the same time here. And now I'm looking at my shrimp guppy tank. It's time for a rescape again. I'm going to try to get a little more aesthetic with it, but I'm going to start with taking that terracotta pot and moving it to our terracotta pot tank, just to keep the styles more separate for all these tanks. Okay, so I've got all of my rock and wood out of the tank, and now we need to do a big water change to reveal what we're working with here. Okay, so I'm going to call that for today. We'll probably do another water change tomorrow to help clear it up. I'm calling this like Wood Mountain with rock lead up or whatever. Okay, and just a couple hours later, it hasn't been very long at all, and this is a lot more clear. I really want to keep better care of this tank. This guppy shrimp community that I started, I kind of just ignore. And the fish and the shrimp have done fine. They haven't, the populations have kept up. They haven't really grown much. But I'd like to, keep up on maintenance a little better and really see these, communities of guppies and shrimp and snails thrive a bit more. Because when you look at the tank, you don't see them. There's not enough to really stand out. And I want to be able to look at the tank and be like, oh, the guppies are shimmering. You can see shrimp gathering on different stuff. So I think first step on that is getting my auto feeder working again, keeping up on maintenance a little better. Yeah. Good morning. It's Saturday and it's extremely rainy. Hear that? Whoa. Let's take a close look at how much water is going in from the downspout for the roof. All that nice rainwater pouring in fresh. Our overflow is working. Water level staying down. This is the little filter I have on the downspout. Lots of fresh water for our pond friends. Getting my socks wet here. Let's see. Water's a little cloudy right now. I imagine some of the rainwater's a little grimy, washing off pollen from the roof. I actually read a couple articles, though, that pollen can be good for goldfish, so that's pretty cool. I used to be worried about it, not so much anymore. And I do not have an asphalt shingle roof. It's like a vinyl membrane, so no worries about any of that stuff getting in the pond water either. And the guppy shrimp tank is crystal clear already. I don't know if I like how it turned out. I like that it's different, but I don't know if I like the general design. It feels missing something, but maybe that's the point. I don't know. But I want kind of a better area to observe guppies and shrimp. It was just too crowded before. So I guess this is generally accomplishing that. We'll see how some extra maintenance on this tank going forward goes. I did find a control valve for the Quanvi filter. So I tried to turn up the air to it, and it's working, I feel like, even worse. So I don't know what the deal is with that. This one's working great, so not too worried at the moment. Everybody else is doing pretty much the same. I think this is going to be a chill day. It's pouring rain. There's not much to do today. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, last day of the week, and there's not much fish-wise we're going to do today. Not much. I'm probably just going to clean up some of my tools and garbage that gets strewn around this room because, I use this space in this deck for other stuff, and I end up leaving a lot out. Friendly reminder, though, that this series, Goldfish Odyssey, I'm giving 20 weeks, 20 episodes for people to start enjoying it. If I don't get a lot of interest, I'm going to probably stop making content. I'm going to keep goldfish keeping. I'm going to keep doing that. But after 20 weeks, if nobody wants me to document my journey, I'll probably just cut it out. So friendly reminder, if you want me to keep doing these videos past 20 weeks, subscribe, like, comment, share with other people. Because if you want this series to stay, you gotta let me know. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Throughout the week, it's kind of funny. You get to see a small glimpse of my day each day of the week. And I have a full life. So some days I'm gonna be more alert and awake and energetic than others. That's just who I am. It feels weird for me too, because some days I feel like my brain works, I'm awake, I'm alert, and then other days I feel like I didn't even wake up. I'm just kind of moving around. And so you'll probably see that in some of the videos, probably noticed. Hopefully soon, some of these episodes will have some interesting cameos of people you may know. Aquarium Co-op is getting ready to open their expansion store, and I plan on being there for the grand opening. I'm not an invited guest or anything, but I want to be there. It sounds like fun. The same with Fish Forever. She makes, she sells guppies online, and she's opening up a fish store in the Oregon area. I'm planning on driving for that grand opening because that sounds like fun. Not an invited guest or anything, once again. And then Pacific Northwest Betas also is opening a storefront in Corvallis, Oregon, which is a couple hour drive. But again, I'm not invited. But if there's a grand opening, I want to be there just for fun. And then locally in Seattle, um, there is a person who imports goldfish from Thailand, I believe, and he's offered to invite me for a tour of his setup and his fish. So you can look forward to that pretty soon. That'll be kind of fun to go in person there and take a look at another person's setup. Because I don't think I have really have never gotten to do that. There's not a lot of goldfish keepers super close to me. I'd also love, it's kind of a dream of mine to go and meet Jeff Thompson Ranchu. He's over in Bend, Oregon. It's kind of, it's like a 4 hour drive for me. But, one day in the future, I'd love to go there and tour his amazing greenhouse where he breeds Japanese Ranchu. So those are some things I'm hoping to do over 20 weeks. And maybe some of those things I might not get to in 20 weeks. So if you want them to happen, then the series has to keep going on. But, we'll see. Time will tell. One way or another, thank you for watching.